everyone, I'm Allison Solar, and if you would have told me 7 years ago that one day I'd want to start a teaching vlog, I would not have believed you. That would be something that is so far out of my comfort zone, it would never have happened. However, it is May 2020 and I find myself sitting in front of a camera going to make an English teacher vlog. I'm terrified. I haven't told anyone. I've only told a couple people because what if it fails? And I'm not center. Oh, this way. Okay. What if it fails? What if it's just really bad? Which I know it's going to be, but that's okay, right? I think maybe 7 people know. I feel like I could probably tell my students about it and they would think it's really cool, but I don't want them to see it because they're gonna laugh at me. But yeah, whatever. So yeah, my name is Allison. I'm a 7th year teacher. I spent 5 years teaching special ed in a small rural school, and I'm finishing my 2nd year as an English teacher in a smaller rural school, which I didn't think was possible, but apparently it is. I never thought I would do, my life right now is a lot of things I never thought I would do. I never thought I'd be married to a country boy, and I never thought I'd be teaching in the country. And I teach freshman English, senior English, and AP literature, which is the job of my favorite favorite English teacher in high school. So I got her job in a different district and I was so tickled because she was great. Very dry sense of humor, but I loved her. Really amazing teacher. I used to do yearbook, which if you are a yearbook advisor, they asked if I wanted to do it in my new district and I was like, no. Nice try. Not falling for that again. Nope. Absolutely not. It's so stressful. So if you know someone who's a yearbook advisor, at one point during the year, next year, probably March, drop them off some candy, buy them some coffee. I don't know. They could probably use it. And when the yearbook comes out, tell them how great it looks, even if you haven't seen it. Tell them thank you, because they probably haven't heard it from many kids. So, in my home life, I have a husband, and I have 2 little babies. I have a toddler, he's 2.5, and I have a daughter who's 1. My oldest is a boy. They're hysterical, and my daughter is sleeping right now, and my son is off with his grandparents, so I have a little bit of time to film this. What else about me outside of school? I mean, really my free time is just watching instructional videos on YouTube and trying to perfect my practice. This is a mess and it's totally fine. I really hope that someone's watching this and yeah, I get it. I have so much going on in my brain and just not enough mouth space to get it out, which is great. So my goal for this channel, I have a couple ideas that I want to do. I want to have one section that is for students and one that is for teachers. So if you are a student and you are here, I will have a separate welcome video for you because I think you need a special little message about why you're here. Now for teachers, back to you, if you're a student, switch to the other video. Teachers, okay. So last summer after I had my daughter in May, I was home, obviously, and school ends in June, so I was out 3 weeks before school ended. It wasn't even that much. So I was home with my daughter a lot, and my son would go to daycare some days, and newborns sleep a lot. So when she was sleeping, I would hold her and look at her, and also watch Laura Randazzo on YouTube. And finding her was amazing. She gave me so many great ideas, and it made such a difference in my classroom this year, and I really think it's why I kind of fell back in love with teaching. But I would like to have a channel for teachers who want to feel like they're not alone in their struggle. I'm going to be very transparent with you about the things that are working and the things that aren't. So if I try a fishbowl, which if you haven't ever done one, it's either going to be amazing or excruciating. I did one this year and I was blown out of the water. So good. I almost cried. But I have also done them before where I'm sitting there have any of you ever had a conversation before? Stop looking at me. So those are the things I want to talk about, is those successes and the failures, things I want to fix, and just general work things that make the job great, things that make the job tough, and just have a really kind of uncensored version of what teaching's actually like. And I think it'll be a really good reference for me 5 years from now when I look back and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember when I tried that. That was really stupid. I was thinking of a list yesterday for new teacher tips, and oh my gosh, like thinking about my first year teaching ever, and then last year my first year teaching English. And I know that next year when I watch these videos, I'm gonna be like, wow, this is really cringy, but I'm gonna keep it up. Yeah, just, oh, this is really awkward, but it's all okay. So yeah, on my teacher side, I would like to have just, I don't know, conversations about things that work well, things that don't, and I don't know, just kind of have a safe spot for people to come that like they're not looking for necessarily a professional, but just someone who's been trying a lot of different techniques. Last year, my big teaching moment that kickstarted my passion for learning again, I was in the middle of the Odyssey, and my students, the books that we had were just way above where my kids were, and I ended up having to basically just like read it to them every single day, and I was so bored, and they were so bored. It sucked, and I got observed for it, and I just was like, this is a nightmare. This is not how I want to teach. It's just not. And I started thinking about what I wanted my classroom to look like, because my room is a big rectangle, and on one of the short walls is my smartboard, and then I have a big long wall full of whiteboards. It just didn't make sense. Like, I felt like I had to teach from the smartboard, and after that class I was like, who told me I had to do that? I mean, a lot of districts want you to have like tech lessons, and that's just not me. You probably won't ever see tech videos on here. It's a lot of paper and pencil discussions, things like that. I hate using computers in the classroom. There's always one kid who doesn't have their Chromebook. The internet's not working for that kid. It's not logging them on. iBoss popped up. It's just a mess. So every time I have a computer lesson, I have to schedule 15 minutes of troubleshooting before these kids can even get on there. And don't even get me started on the kids that don't title their documents, and they have 1,000 untitled documents in their Google like files. You know what I'm talking about. So that was the day that I really started thinking about, who told me I had to teach this way? I don't think anyone actually came in and told me that, so I'm going to change it up. And I spent weeks and weeks and that whole summer researching new things and buying professional development books. If you haven't read A Novel Approach, it is amazing, life-changing, love it. If you don't have it, buy it right now. It'll change your teaching career. And I don't use it all the time, but it is helpful to kind of get those skills going. Amazing. It's Kate. It's not Kate Hudson, but I want to say it's Kate Hudson. Hold on. And it's also not Kate Flannery from The Office. Kate Roberts. So she wrote a really great book. And then I was researching all the time. Reading and Writing Haven is wonderful. Right on with Miss G, she has a lot of really great stuff. But I really started thinking about what's going to get me excited to come here. And after a couple of weeks of that, and I was really honest with my freshmen at the time, I was like, look guys, this just isn't working. So we're going to try some new things, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, but I cannot keep teaching like that. And they were definitely on board for that, because they were hating it too. And I wasn't building community. I didn't feel attached to a lot of them. But after I started doing the things I wanted to do, there was a noticeable change. And one student, I'll never forget it, she looked at me one day and was just like, I love the way you teach us. And I about died. Like, I want that feeling every single day, where kids just know that they're welcome and that I'm doing my absolute best. Sometimes I'm going to fail. That's okay. But I don't know, if you're teaching in a way that you're not happy, change it. Do some research. I changed, looping back to the smartboard thing. That's not the front of my classroom anymore. The front of my classroom is the whiteboards. I instruct from the whiteboard all the time. It's way easier for me. I can like add notes and things like that. It's so much better. And I also got a document camera. And when I requested that, I think, who was it? Maybe the superintendent, because it's a small school, so the superintendent is there. He actually works like right underneath my room, which is the same as my old school too. So he's just around, and I was like, do we have any of these? And if we don't, can I get one? And he was like, I think we have some like in the basement. And I got one, and then a bunch of other teachers were like, no, I want that too. Document cameras are way easier than smartboard stuff, and you can have the kids kind of crowd around you. I love that. Having that changed my life, and using the dry erase board, I go through so many markers. And also, if you're a teacher and you use a whiteboard, hide your markers. I only ever have them out if I'm using them. I've seen things drawn on my whiteboard that I just, like, why? And they're never discreet about it either. They're over there doing like that. And you look over, what are you doing? Nothing. Okay, so I didn't hear the squeak of the lid either when you catch a kid red-handed. Just so many times, and then you hear them like put it back on the ledge really fast. So yeah, teach the way you want to teach. This channel is going to be devoted to that, and just me kind of discovering what works best for which group of kids over time, and learning from my failures and celebrating my successes. And I hope that you all really enjoy that. I think it'll be very as unfiltered as I can be. Obviously, I'm not going to violate student privacy or anything like that, but I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to say that a method worked for me when it didn't. And if it didn't, like, how could I change it for the future? I want to do like plan with me's. I want to do classroom setup, because I'm doing a whole new thing next year. The Caffeinated Classroom has a classroom setup planner, and I don't think I have it near me, but that's a really great resource, and I'm pretty sure it's free. But you just go through, and she asks you questions about like, how do you want to set up your space, and what are these spaces going to be for, and how you're going to use them. Because I've decorated my room before, and I'm like, oh, this will be great for this, and I never used that because it's not actually practical, but it looked good on Pinterest. And so she just kind of helps like guide you through that. So I have some great ideas. I got rid of this monstrous bookshelf in my room that I wasn't using, so I got rid of that. And then like, I actually have my bulletin boards back now. I have a lot of built-in cabinets into my walls, and I got rid of at least 1,000 books from them this year, if not more. I probably want to get rid of more, but I didn't want the board to think that I was just getting rid of all these books, because I wouldn't have kept very many of them. And so I got rid of my bookcase, so I have my bulletin boards back, and I'm moving my desk from one side to another side, but that's a video for another time. But I'm really excited, but I can't decorate my classroom until like the end of August because of the construction and stuff. And with coronavirus, like, some of the shipping material, or some of the materials that are getting shipped to us are delayed. So hopefully it's in and done early, and I can go in and spend a lot of time, because I told another English teacher in my department that, who you probably hear about a lot, but I told her about my vocab and grammar plans, and I told her about the grammar, and she asked about the vocab, and I just laughed because I'm crazy. I don't have time for this vlog stuff. I don't have time for anything. So this might be my only video. That should be really embarrassing, but it's okay. We're just rolling with it. Okay, so if you're a teacher, make sure that you're looking at my teacher playlist. And if you're a student and you're still watching this, what are you doing? Do you not have a life? I mean, I guess I could think of worse places you could be. So, yeah, I will see you all around. Bye.